Hamsters are being killed needlessly at an astronomical rate. And you know what we do? We make fun of them. It's not the hamster's fault it died. You think he wanted to do that? Yes, kinda like what I'm always saying about guinea pigs. Hamsters take a lot of care. There's somehow not common knowledge. You people need to be told there is no such thing as a starter pet. How many times do you gotta be told not to give a hamster to a toddler? The people can no longer be trusted. It is time to take a stand. I'm going to write a formal complaint to the president. Dear Mr. President, with much respect, please stop letting these people buy hamsters. You wouldn't believe the shit I've seen. Please stop selling hamsters to certain individuals. Sent. What's this? From the president himself.
This is very concerning. I didn't know hamsters were mistreated in such a way. But I'm just one senile old. How will I know who to ban from buying hamsters? From who will I know it? How will it from buying hamsters?
How inconsiderate of me. I have sent my formal complaint with no real solution. Mr. President, I will gather a list of high-risk hamster owners or hamster abusers for you myself, so long as you promise to enact severe restrictions on their adoption to said people.
No, you really can't. You can't really tell it in English.
What?
Just make sure the sources are reputable.
Sure thing, Mr. President. You can count on me.
Okay. I'm on my way to heaven now.
Chemical warfare. Got my hamster, my cousin's hamster. About 9 to 10 years ago, my cousin had a dwarf hamster named Pipsqueak. One day, while the small critter was minding his own business, my cousin, around 6 years old, thought he smelled bad. Over the course of a few days, would spray him with household cleaner. Of course, this resulted in poor Pipsqueak's slow and painful death. Rip Pipsqueak with 4 praying hands emojis. Disrespectful. Did he at least smell better? Lovely story. I hope that happens to my pregnant. People have no compassion. This is a part of the problem. Okay, let's put one for cousins. Cousins can't buy hamsters. 1 for kids. He's a 6-year-old. This was influenced by a 6-year-old. I sent my hamster into the stratosphere. I used to have a hamster when I was 7.5 years old. Alright, that's 1 more for kids, because you know this is gonna be good. Hammy, original name, I know. I was playing video games next to his cage one night. I got so mad at my video games that I grabbed the ticket. What? Oh, no. You mean violently threw him out of my window so hard, I think he's still flying deep into the vast expanses of space. Wow. I heard intel. His body is currently hurtling towards the International Space Station. So my dear little dead hammy will need a marvel for those astronauts to see. Also, since he went into space, he probably inflated and exploded due to the pressure of space. So it'll be less like a whole hamster and more like chunks of a hamster. Well, that's nice of you to let the people at the International Space Station know. That's awesome, man. Alright, that's 1 more for kids. Okay, whatever. Moving on. I got another hamster after 4 years of having my first one. I got it from PetSmart. 4 to 5 days ago. She was definitely stressed and passed away from all the quick research I did. Her name was Binky. I finally decided that name the day before she died because I thought she was getting more comfortable, and I finally noticed the schedule with her activity. I'm so emotional. Anytime I think or say her name, I start crying instantly. I miss Binky. Oh my god! This person gets to own hamsters. Just stop buying from PetSmart. Can humans procreate with him? Dude, you're so done. I've been crying in my room for 2 hours now. I was making some salad dressing in the kitchen with my pet hamster Manny. I let him roam around. My sister and her friends were also in there doing something. I spilled a bottle of vinegar, so I left to get a towel, and when I came back, Manny was drinking it. I didn't take any of it from it. I didn't... So I let him help me clean it up. Oh, I'm sure he was very helpful. All of a sudden, Manny starts acting really weird. He's normally very full of energy, but he was just sitting still. Everyone gathered around him to try to figure out what was wrong. Suddenly, we hear a fizzing noise coming from inside Manny. No! And he started expanding. He let out a final squeak and bursted. Bubbles and blood went everywhere. My sister and her friend started screaming, and I crying. I ran and got my dad, and he cleaned it up. We looked in the pantry, and apparently Manny got into the baking soda and ate a bunch of it. I think I'm traumatized now. Definitely. Dude, that's hilarious. I mean, dude, have a heart, guy. My sister and her friends were also in there doing something. Let's one for sisters. My mom forced me to buy 2 hamsters because one would be lonely. They made 7 babies. She ate 6. The baby that survived ate the mother, and the dad who saw these starved himself to death. That's 1/3. The hamsters should be extinct. The heater death. My first hamster walked into the heater, found him 7 years later before moving the house. All crippled and toasty in bed. My second one escaped from his tube maze and jumped into the fireplace. I was just sitting there in shock, and then 2 minutes later I heard a pop sound. How are people allowed to have hamsters? How did it taste though? I don't think he ate it. Oh, he did eat him. How I killed my hamster. When I was younger, I had a big anger problem. When anything didn't go my way, I'd go crazy. One time I was playing Smash Bros and I lost to the CPU. This got me mad. Unfortunately, the closest thing to me was my hamster, albino named Hamilton. I had picked him up and threw him across my room like a baseball pitch type of throw. He didn't splat. He made this crack sound and then stopped moving. I hid the body well enough for my mom not to find out. I would never forgive myself for what I did to Hamilton. Alright, and also, I'm just gonna add gamers in the corner because I didn't think it would be reoccurring, but this has been too, so yeah. That's unethical. Hamster smoothie. This person's lying. There's no way. Today marks the day that my beloved hamster Pepperoni died. Now 2 fateful years ago, I was living with my brother in a tiny little apartment. Fun fact about my brother, he loves smoothies, specifically fruit smoothies. At this time, he had brought a brand spanking new blender, very high quality too. So, as he was preparing a smoothie, one morning, he went over to the fruit bowl in search of a kiwi. For those who do not know, kiwis are these hamster-sized, round, fuzzy fruit. Can you guess what he picked up instead? That also fits this description. He dropped the moving brown blob in his death chamber, aka the fucking blender, and he blended them alive. But that's not even the worst part. He drank it. I don't know if he was high or what, cause it was blood red. The only way I found out the pepperoni was blended is cause I cleaned his blender and found my pepperoni's little food. It's so gross. Rip Pepperoni, I will always remember you. Not even kidding on this one. One day during the start of lockdown, I recall my friend texting me to get on a class Zoom after I'd slept in. It was mathematics and the teacher needed to take attendance. I was in 10th grade and I was eating my 2-minute noodles. The teacher, obviously not impressed by my food choice, asked me to put my food away. Her being distracted from making sure attendance was taken, I guess, made this one kid do what he did next. Context for this, Paul was a fairly morbidly obese child. Can't say fairly morbidly obese, and he had some problems. Because he would do all sorts of weird stuff in class. For example, this one time he stood straight up in the middle of class before lockdown and started screaming, "I'm a butterfly," while flapping his meaty arms around like a wounded pigeon. What? During lockdown, I used to have a hamster named Tammy. Tammy was just sitting next to me in Zoom class, and he was biting all cute at my cup of noodles that I had put out of sight. This is when things went downhill. I'd apparently taken my teacher's scolding at me as a go button to do whatever he wanted to do, and he began jumping up and down. I swear, I think his whole house shook. He started screaming earthquake, and then he slammed his butt on the floor, shaking his camera. What the hell? Actually, I would say this isn't real, but this sounds accurate to what kids do. The whole class was mortified, but he kept going. He stood right up, turned around, and started shaking right on camera. Tammy, God rest his soul, had a heart attack when he saw those buns. And I've never forgiven Paul for what he did to my precious Tam Tam. Rip. Dude, that's hilarious. That one's really funny, and that's a good hamster owner. I didn't see any... Well, I guess they were eating a cup of noodles. That's bad. You shouldn't feed your hamster a cup of noodles. So, that's another one for kids, because they were in the 10th grade. What's this? Where Tam at, huh? Smokey, keep Paul name out your mouth like that's my man's. My at Achilles heel. We like Chris and Marlo. We've been through it thick and thin. His syndrome down, but our money up and get your bread up too. What is this? Oh wait, God. Joe Biden's not gonna believe this. Rage. I know a guy who had a small hamster. Said guy was also into gaming. Alright, this is one for the gamers. I know it's gonna be bad. One day he was playing as usual, but on one fateful round. A random game, he lost so badly he became livid and had to channel his anger into something. You might be able to guess where this is going. He did a quick scan of his surroundings and grabbed the first thing he could find and threw it. The poor fella died on the wall, split. Oh, he did not get another hamster afterwards. Well, that's good. What's wrong with gamers? My grandpa didn't like my mom's hamster. My mom had a hamster when she was a teenager, and she liked it a lot. However, the hamster kept chewing on my wires of my grandpa's brand new TV. My grandpa wanted to sell the hamster, but my mom wouldn't let him. So my grandpa's solution was to put the hamster in a plastic bag, put it under the sofa seat, and then he sat down on the sofa, crushing the hamster to death. What's wrong with people? Alright, grandpas. I have no idea why my grandpa chose to kill the hamster in such a weird way. I guess he must have really hated that hamster. The poor creatures. Jack the Sitter, that's hilarious. If he's still alive, feel free to choose the cheapest, worst nursing home from his declining years. True. Because, dude, that's super messed up. My hamster crashed into a neutron star. Hamsters are not suitable for space travel. He was okay. It was hard to get him out of 130,000 times Earth's gravity, but then he died while eating a mealworm. Agrimed. It just dawned. I don't know where. Just dawned. That's new. Hamster families don't work. Hamsters are cannibals. Alright. I knew hammies were solitaire, but not to their mom. Oh no, none of these are funny. I know. I will never forgive my friend for bringing me to this subreddit. This is horrible. But, 2 death emojis, 2 crying emojis. I will go now. And I think the comments are even better. This ain't an airport, so no need to announce your departure. Bye bye. Bro cooked a lot, for real. To be fair, listen. Real, I don't get why people find it funny. This subreddit is full of sociopaths. And then under that somebody said, join subreddit called HAMSTERS, specifically made for death of hamsters. Calls everyone sociopaths because it's full of death of hamsters. Why? Here's the way I think about it. Is it funny the way the hamsters die? Yes. But just because it's funny doesn't mean it isn't a problem. Okay? Clearly people don't know how to take care of their hamsters. They keep giving them to kids. It's super tragic. But honestly, and I think people do laugh out about him too much. Like, I'll be like scrolling on Facebook or something, and I'll see a picture that'll say like, oh, my beloved dog has passed away, and I'll be really sad, and I'll be looking at their post, and I'll scroll, and I'll see the funniest looking, like, sad music playing in the background, and it'll be the most looking dog, because the dog was so old and beloved. It's hilarious. The people get real hypocritical when it's about hamsters, because then they won't then scroll into the comments and see, oh, my condolences, oh, this is so sad. No, you'll see a bunch of people, like, this is a community of people who are all just here to laugh because hamsters died. And, basically what I'm saying is I understand where this person's coming from. So, now that we know we should be permanently banned from pet stores across the United States, all we have to do is inform President Joe Biden. What? Joe?
Joe isn't here anymore. And what's this?
It's a new idea for hamster protection, Mr. President.
You think I care about hamsters? No, I only care about Americans. And hamsters are actually a big problem for us here. in the greatest country in the galaxy. Did you know that hamsters are the hugest cause of inflation by eating the same peas as us human beings do?
Oh, come on, surely they don't eat that many peas.
Each hamster eats approximately 10 bags of peas every day.
Oh my god.
And 10 quintillion hamsters, which are the amount of hamsters that we currently have in the US. That makes 900% of peas that they ate, which is why you can't afford groceries.
10 to quintillion? Do you mean, like, the unethical breeders in pet mills?
No, pet mills aren't real.
What?
You know what? Screw your bill. I'm banning TikTok. Fuck you. And I hate hamsters. And now, actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered that the hamsters, all they want is more. We give you to children. What's wrong with the American children? Huh? What's wrong? What's wrong with that? They hate us. They hate the Americans. Hamsters? Hey, you know what? I'm invading Greenland.
And so, basically, there's nothing we can do legislatively, I guess. Gamers, grandpas, kids, sisters, and cousins. Keep your hamsters out of the kitchen. Don't let your hamsters travel through space. They're not a little astronaut. Let's make this a safer world for all hamsters. The fact that hamsters dying in horrible ways is so, and the fact it's so funny does not excuse the fact that it is wrong.